Well, good afternoon and welcome to Dapto Showground. It's the round 3 game of the VB Challenge Cup between the home side, the Dapto Canaries and the Thirroul Butchers. This is Johnny Pett calling all the live stream action for Bar TV Sports. And the Butchers itching to get onto the paddock in 2019, a bye in round 1, washed out last week. So today will be their first taste of rugby league for season 2019. The Dapto Canaries, they had a loss in round 1 against the Berkeley Eagles, a bye last week in round 2. They also will be looking to get the ball in hand and play a good, strong game of rugby league. A change in the coaching for season 2019. Coach Henderson leaving the Dapto Canaries this season, replaced by Chris Lightfoot and Mick Murphy. The Butchers, they still coached by Jared Costello, who's been at the helm for the last couple of years. A few changes throughout both sides as we see Dapto and Thirroul very strong in the Illawarra competition over the last few years, opting to use a bit of youth in this round 3 game between each other. We'll see Tyson Tamakaha come into the halves. He'll partner Jeff Robson. The Butchers, Ryan Fletcher, a big addition in 2019. Fletcher, one of those players in the New South Wales Cup system with the Dragons. We've seen him feature a few games last year for the Helensburgh Tigers. He'll wear the number 6 today for the Butchers, and he'll partner Jake Walsh in the halves. The front row pairing of Damien Sirenen and Joel Ruskin. They'll look to lead for the front today for the Butchers. And the Canaries front row of Josh Varchez and Ricky Ariola. We've seen Ariola play for the Collegians Collie Dogs last year. He's come across to the Dapto Canaries. Young Brad Bufflin, he'll get a chance to impress the coaching staff today. He's been given the nod to wear the number 9 on his back in this round 3 challenge. Cooper Purcell for the Butchers. We've seen Cooper throughout the Dragons system, the under-20s last year. Cooper Purcell opting to come back to his junior club, and he'll be looking to impress Coach Costello coming off the bench. And it's interesting with the selections today that Jared Costello, 3 number 9s he selected, the skipper Joel Johnson, and then coming off the bench you've got Jared Whitty and Cooper Purcell, all capable number 9s in their own right. It'll be interesting to see how Jared Costello uses those 3 today throughout this 80 minutes. The VB Cup Challenge will see 4 20-minute quarters. So the boys will be right to have a rest at the end of 20 minutes as the Butchers, they haven't seen any rugby league in 2019, so I'm sure there'll be a couple of people out on their feet towards the tail end of each quarter. The Dapto Canaries, the fullback Adam McCann, look to him today, an exciting prospect. And Jeff Robson, we spoke about him just moments ago. He'll steer this team around the paddock. An absolute plethora of NRL experience, Jeff Robson, and we've seen that throughout last year and what he brought to this Dapto Canaries side. It'll be interesting to see the partnership him and Tamakaha put together. We've seen Syker partner Robson last year in 2019. Bark feature and lay on some points for this Dapto Canaries side. We're only moments away from kickoff. A little bit overcast down here at the world famous Dapto Greyhound, or the Dapto Showground. No wind present at the moment, but there is due to be a change in weather later on throughout the day. As we see the Dapto Canaries walk over the dog track coming onto the field, led out by their skipper Jeff Robson. Sizable pack the Dapto Canaries do have. The back row of James Rouse and Vaughan Thistlethwaite. Look for them 2 big strong boys out on the fringes today. Salim Nolan, Tom Rouse and Declan Healy. Skipper Joel Johnson, last year's Paul McGregor medalist, and he had an outstanding 2018 season. You see Jake Walsh there just running over towards the goalpost. Walsh exceptional last year. Probably the form halfback or in the competition, in my opinion, he was in 2018. Big Lukey Dodge, we'll see him today with the number 3 on his back. We've seen him over the years play 11 and 12. Jared Costello giving him a shot in the centres today, but we'll look for a change probably between him and Luke Gallagher. I dare say that those two will switch over throughout the day between the centres and the back row. Jake Devine, Jake Walker and Riley Graham on the bench for the Butchers. And Jack Noble back in the Butchers system. Jack had last year off after a great season in 2017. 2018 went travelling around Europe, came back home, straight into the Butchers colours. Down to the Butchers, and it is fielded by Ryan Fletcher. And the fitters out. They'll continue to go to the right, the Butchers. Gallagher with his first hit up in 2019. A strong carry. He's made 10 metres there. Jolie Johnson just itching for Gallagher to get up and play the ball. Gallagher continue to go to the right. Sirenen. Big strong charge from Damien Sirenen. We've seen him in the Butchers colours last year on occasions when he came back from the Dragons system. He's going to make a hands just batted that over the dead ball line. So a little bit of confusion there from McCann and also Todd Morris. No one really wanted to own that ball once Jake Walsh kicked it into the air, and ended up being a nice kick from Walsh, and McCann just battering it over the dead ball line. So they'll drop back out to the Butchers. A good set there from the Thirroul Butchers first up. Very sharp there. Nice quick play the balls from the worm burner. Pick Fletcher to Higgins, and Higgins is met strongly in defence by Barnes. Barnes read that like a book. He knew that Higgins was getting the ball out the back. The short side, they go again to Fletcher. Fletcher spins back infield to Higgins. Higgins onto Ruskin. Ruskin just puts it under his wing and goes forward. Pumping the legs, brought down 6 metres out from the try line. The Butchers set left to right. They'll go to the right. Morris to Walsh. Walsh with a short ball to Sirenen. He's backing into the try line. Has he gone over? Yes, he has. The Butchers, they'll score first in this round 3 clash. A try to the front rower, Damien Sirenen. Great work there from the Butchers. They had the Canaries defence bamboozled. They were spread left to right there, and it was great ball work there from the Butchers. Jake Walsh putting it onto the chest of Damien Sirenen, and Sirenen crashes over first for the Butchers. So a good start from the Thirroul Butchers. Only 3 minutes into this first quarter. 4-0 on the scoreboard. So Lukey Gallagher being given the kicking duties for today. He's got a very handy radar, does Gallagher. On his favoured side here, 20 metres out, about 15 metres in from the touchline. Gallagher steps in, looks good off the boot, curling back, and it's a perfect kick from Lukey Gallagher. He'll start the day off with 1 from 1. The Butchers 6-0 over the Dapto Canaries. 16 minutes remaining in this first quarter. So Canaries put the ball back on the tee. They'll get us back underway. A nice deep kick there from the Canaries. It's been fielded by Fletcher. Fletcher will just put it under his arm and go forward. He had the option there to give to Ruskin, but decided to go himself. Tiata at acting half. On to Ruskin. Ruskin with a carry. He'll make 6 metres in that carry, Ruskin. 2 of the Canaries bringing him to the ground. At Dodge, his first hit up for the day, and a nice charge there from Luke Dodge. They'll continue to go to the right. Sirinen just knocks that one on. A little bit of confusion there between Sirinen and it looks like Jake Walsh. So I'm not sure who that ball was going to. It looked like Johnson wanted to give that ball on to Walsh and continue to play out that right-hand side, but big Damien Sirinen just getting in the way there. So the first mistake for the Butchers for the day. Giving the Canaries a chance here. 30 metres out from the Butchers try line. Robson set out wide. So I'll go that way to Robson. On to Ralphs. So Ralphs met very strongly in defence there from the Butchers. Just pushing Ralph back there a few metres. They'll continue to go to the right. Brown. Brown with a 5 metre carry. So nice line speed here from the Butchers in their first defensive set. Bufflin at acting half. They'll go to the right to Ariola. Ariola out to Tamakaha, but it's a wobbly pass from Tamakaha under the feet of McCann. He'll soccer that forward and regather it. Tamakaha at acting half. Thistlethwaite. 15 metres out now, the Canaries. Their chance. They're spread to the right. Varchez out the back to Robson. Robson brings Ariola back underneath him. Ariola brought down 10 metres out. Last tackle. Gone to the short side to Robson. Robson with that little grubber kick through, but well fielded there from Blake Higgins at fullback. A great positional play there from Blake Higgins. Great work from Higgins. We see Blake having his first year over at the Butchers. We've seen him with the Corrimal Cougars last year. And with his brother leaving the Butchers and getting a chance in that Canterbury Cup for the South Sydney Rabbitohs, it's opened up that number 1 spot for the Butchers. And Blake with a nice first effort there, wearing the number 1 for the Thirroul Butchers. And the Butchers on the attack here, just shy of the halfway line. Fletcher, dummies, goes himself, finds a gap into Gallagher. Gallagher's got numbers to his left. He fumbles that one out. It's just gone forward there. It was a nice little passage of play there from the Butchers, but Gallagher just couldn't get that arm free onto his winger in Tiata. It's a nice little match-up here on this side between Tiata and Kamisala. Both great finishers in the game. We've seen Kamisala over the years score some amazing tries for the Dapto Canaries. So Robson to feed the scrum just shy of the halfway line. 13 minutes still remaining in this first quarter. Robson to the open to Tamakaha. Lalia fends off Crosland with that big left hand. Makes about 10 metres there on that carry in the end, Lalia. Eventually brought down from the Butchers. Looks like they're pleading for a mistake here, and they are. Tommy Simpson, he was confident there when he came in there in that shot on Lalia that Lalia did fumble the ball. And at first I didn't think referee Ryan Jackson was going to award that, but he must have had a call there from the touchy, so they found a mistake there. So a little coach killer there from the Dapto Canaries. So the Butchers feed the scrum. Right smack on halfway here at Dapto Showground. Another chance for the Butchers to post points. And it's out to Dodge. Dodge will put it under his wing and go forward. Tries to find a gap in that defensive line, but he can't. He'll get to his feet and play the ball. Johnson will continue to go that way. A face ball to Gallagher. Gallagher steps off the left. Can't get through the defensive line. So they got 2 to the short side and they got stacked to the open side here, the Butchers. And a penalty. The Dapto Canaries just laying all over the ruck. Gallagher, he'll tap it on his foot and go forward. So 25 metres out the Butchers. They'll go to the right. So wobbly pass there from Johnson. Eventually finding the evergreen Joel Ruskin, who will put it under his wing and go forward. A nice carry from Ruskin. 15 metres out the Butchers. Big opportunity to post points again. They'll go to the left to Morris. Morris looked to go at the back there to Fletcher, but decided to go himself. They're 5 metres out the Butchers. Johnson so dangerous from short. And it's well done there from Joel Johnson. And noticing that the marker in front of him was offside, just runs straight into him there. He'll give his Butchers another fresh set of 6 tackles. 10 metres out from the Canaries line. How much more can this Canaries defence withhold? They'll go to the right. Sirinen, he'll look for try number 2. Bumps off one. Looking to get that arm free. He can't. Brought down 5 metres out, centre of the paddock. They're stretched here, the Butchers. They go to the left. And a short ball there from Fletcher onto Gallagher. Gallagher brought down a metre shy of the try line. Johnson at acting half. A ball to Morris. Morris puts it on to Sirinen, and we've come up with an error here. The Butchers, they looked real good there, but they just got a little bit mumbled up there, Morris and Sirinen between each other. A little bit of a shepherd there, and Ryan Jackson blows that whistle and awards the Canaries a penalty. So a let-off there for the Dapto Canaries. The Butchers looking very dangerous early in this first quarter. We're just about to approach the 10-minute mark in this first quarter. The Canaries, they really need to get out of their own area, complete a set and get down the other end of the field and put some pressure on this Butchers defensive line. Little mistakes costing the Canaries their chance to march their way down the field and post points. They're over the 40-metre line now, the Canaries. Bufflin at acting half. He'll go to the short side to Brown. Brown just over the halfway line will take that carry. Bufflin at acting half again. The short side to Robson. Robson will put it on the boot and find a gap between Higgins and Tiata. Higgins coming across to gather that ball. It's a nice kick chase there from the Dapto Canaries, led by Jace Barnes and Kamisala, and also the kicker Robson. The Butchers still trying to get back on side. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of the Butchers players still not back behind the play the ball. And a silly penalty there for the Canaries. Just that second effort there from Kamisala. Just an absolute coach killer there. Lightvolt and Murphy, they will be filthy about that because they had them on the ropes there defensively, the Canaries. The line speed was good there. They were going to try and hold the Butchers down in their own area and really put some pressure on. But Kamisala just giving away a very cheap penalty. And the Butchers fine touch. Ruskin. Super busy early, Joel Ruskin, in this first quarter. He'll be brought down just shy of the halfway line. Johnson at acting half. A nice long ball to Walsh. And Walsh to Jay Gallagher on that right-hand fringe. So another one that's been in that Dragon system, Jay Gallagher, that's come back to the Butchers. We've seen him a few times feature for the Butchers last year when he was in between New South Wales Cup and the Illawarra Rugby League. They'll go to the left to Sirinen. Sirinen over the 30-metre line. A strong carry there from big Damien Sirinen. And Sirenen's come up with a mistake getting up to play the ball there. And they look set to the left here, the Butchers, but Sirenen just bubbled that ball when he was trying to get up and play the ball. So another mistake from Sirenen. So a lot of mistakes here early from both sides. Understandably in a way, because we haven't, as I said earlier, the Butchers haven't seen rugby league in 2019. They've been on the training paddock at Gibson Park since before Christmas, so itching to play a bit of rugby league. And the Canaries, they've only had the one hit out, and that was a loss to Berkeley. And then the bye last week. So both sides have probably got a little bit of nerves in the system here. Just got to get that out of their game and really put that front foot forward and play rugby league. As we see Morris on this right-hand fringe take a carry. Sorry, that was Barnes. Back to the open side, Bufflin to the back rower in Rouse. So Rouse will bring that back infield a little bit. The Butchers line speed, sensational here at the present moment. Brown onto Varchez. Varchez onto the halfway line. He'll be brought down right on the white stripe in the middle of the paddock. They'll go to the short side. Areola. Bufflin jumped out of acting half there onto Areola's chest. Areola's come with a mistake. Johnson dummies. Goes himself. Sees a gap. Oh, and he's brought down awkwardly there from Jeff Robson, but it looks all right. Johnson back onto his feet. A good sign there. He's so dangerous, Joel Johnson. 40 metres out the Butchers. 5 metres in from the sideline. Dodge with a nice run there, but he's met by Kamisala, who's crunched Dodge. He's got it back out to Tiata, and Tiata's come up with the error. And we'll see a bit of an offside ruling here from Ryan Jackson. A little bit of a smile on the referee's face there. Dodge just couldn't do much there. He just came up in that offside position. As we see Robson, fine touch. A nice touch finder there from Robson. 40 metres out from the Butchers try line. So the Canaries, they'll look to complete this set and try and post points, or at least look for a repeat set on the tail end of this set of 6. Areola brought down 30 metres out. Bufflin at acting half. Robson set to the short. They're going to go to the open side. So the Canaries set left to right. They'll continue to go left through Brown. Brown on Tamakaha. Nice quick hands there on to Thistlewaite. Thistlewaite gets out to Lalia. Lalia to Morris. Morris is brought down. Lalia at acting half. A long ball to Tamakaha. Tamakaha goes crossfield. brings Brown back underneath him. So they're 12 metres out, the Canaries. Can they post points here in this set of 6? Bufflin at acting half to Tamakaha to Varchez. Varchez pumping those legs, trying to find a hole in the Butchers' defence. He can't. A last tackle. Robson set to the right. Tamakaha to the left. They've gone to Tamakaha. He'll grubber it through. And well fielded there from Crosland, who's forced that ball in the in-goal line. So it was a Superman effort there from young Hayden Crosland. The kick was good from Tamakaha, and Crosland just dived and plucked that ball out of the sky and forced it into the in-goal there. So the Butchers withhold the pressure there from the Dapto Canaries attacking raid, and we'll see Jake Walsh drop this out back out to the Canaries, and Walsh with a nice boot from the dropout on most occasions there. Might have put the mock on him there. That one's gone to the 40-metre line. Kamisala will take the first hit up of this set of 6. The Canaries 30 metres out from the Butchers' try line. Bufflin at acting half jumps out, brings Areola back underneath him. So Areola's been super busy in this first quarter. Bufflin to the right to Robson. Robson goes to the line, hits Rouse. Rouse got that arm free, but his winger just wasn't there. There could have been a chance there for the Canaries. Barnes, Robson to Varchez, and Varchez goes forward. 5 metres out, the Canaries. Here's their chance to post points. They'll go to the open side to Robson. Robson dummies to 1. Gets it to Tamakaha. Tamakaha gets it out to McCann. So McCann's brought down on the last tackle, 15 metres out. They'll look for a good kick here from Robson. It's a crossfield kick, looking for Kamisaha. He's going to try and fly high, but it's well read there from the Butchers winger, and Tiara fielded that well in the in-goal. He'll bring it out to the 20-metre line and tap it on his foot. The Butchers, well done there from young Jamin Tiara. It was a nice kick there from Jeff Robson. As we said, this battle out here on the wing between Tiara and Kamisala will be one to watch today. Tom Simpson with a carry. Johnson sees one marker in front of him, goes himself, trying to get that arm free and get it onto one of his men in the blue and white jumper, but he can't. He's brought down just shy of the halfway line. Fletcher at acting half. Ruskin with a carry over the halfway line. So, as I said earlier, a good start to this game from the 2 front rows from the Butchers, Ruskin and Sirenen. Fletcher go crossfield, bring Dodge back underneath him. Dodge is brought down about 35 metres out from the try line. 3 minutes remaining in this first quarter. Walsh grabs crossfield, brings Sirenen back underneath him. So Sirenen's brought down centre of the paddock, 20 metres out from the try line. Johnson jumps out to Walsh. Walsh has got Morris underneath him. Morris is looking for the try line, going to try and bust over the fullback, but he can't. Brought down inches from the try line. Walsh out the back to Fletcher. Fletcher with a long pass, eventually finds Tiara. Tiara puts it on the boot, tries to chase his kick, but it's well read there behind by McCann, who fields that kick there. So not the ideal ending to that set of 6 from the Butchers, and good shot there from Gallagher and also Fletcher there. Absolutely squared up young Jace Barnes there. Gallagher's another tackle there. Defensively good is Luke Gallagher. So Brown with the ball. He'll play the ball centre of the paddock. Areola with another carry to the right. So they're going a little bit crossfield here. Have the Dapto Canaries. Haven't made many metres in that set of 6 on the last. And Bufflin tries to get out of acting half and put a kick through. Eventually he does. It's a wobbly one. It's gone past Tiara. It looked like a little bit of a knock on there, but it's been called knock back there from referee Ryan Jackson. So Tiara will give it on to Higgins, and Higgins will be brought down just 20 metres out from his try line. They'll go to the right to Crosland. Crosland looked to go to Simpson there, but decided to go himself. Walsh at acting half. Simpson comes in for a carry. A good run there from Tom Simpson. A big run there from Simpson. Putting the Butchers on the front foot. One marker there. Joel Johnson's read it. He's skipped out, gone himself. Gets past the first defender. Can't get past the defensive effort there from Varchez, who's just belted Johnson into the turf. They'll go to the right to Butchers. Walsh to Jay Gallagher. So Jay Gallagher on the last, brought down 30 metres out. Walsh is set to the left here. They'll go that way to him. They've gone out the back. They're going to chance their run with their hands, and it's a good ball there from Fletcher. It just wasn't read there from the outside pairing here of Tiara and also Luke Gallagher. And if that ball had gone onto the chest of Gallagher, he would have more than likely gone through the hole and at worst drawn him past and found Tiata down that left-hand side. But the pass has gone into touch there from Fletcher. So Ryan Fletcher, new to the Butchers this year. They take a bit of time for some of these players to gel and get those combinations right, but what we're seeing from Fletcher at the moment is all class. McCann with a carry, helping out his forwards here, trying to get the Canaries on the front foot and out of their own area. Lalia steps off the left. Over the halfway line is Keith Lalia into Butcher's territory. Brown at acting half to Tamakaha, to McCann. McCann with a long ball out to Morris. And Morris just brings it infield a little bit there. Didn't want to get pushed over the sideline. As we see 0 minutes on the clock, and it's a kick over the chip and chase there from the Canaries there, from the 13, Josh Brown. As we hear the quarter time siren go, referee Ryan Jackson has awarded the Canaries a penalty. So Brown, noticing that there was no time left on the clock, put a little cheeky chip and chase in, but he got flattened trying to chase his own kick there. So Ryan Jackson awarding a penalty. Tamakaha with the ball. Have they got something special here, the Canaries, to finish off the first quarter? Tamakaha jumps out to Robson. Robson kicks it, looking for his outside backs. It's been battered back there from the Canaries. Ended up with in the arms of Tiata, and Tiata's been brought to the ground by Kamisala. So we'll hear the whistle blown for the first quarter break. And it's the visiting side, the Thirroul Butchers, leading the Dapto Canaries 6 points to 0. A try to Damien Sirinen and a goal to Lukey Gallagher. So we'll be back in a few moments for all the action here at Dapto Showground for the second quarter of this round 3 Challenge Cup game between the Dapto Canaries and the Thirroul Butchers. So welcome back to Dapto Showground. We're about to get back underway for the second quarter of this match between the Dapto Canaries and the Thirroul Butchers. Referee Ryan Jackson blows the whistle and back underway. McCann with a nice deep kickoff down to Fletcher, and Fletcher's fielded that. Jack Noble onto the field for his first taste of rugby league for 2 years. Good to see big Jack Noble back in the Butchers' colours. Nice carry there from Lukey Gallagher. So Butchers trying to muscle their way out of their own area. Sirenen. So three of the big boppers, 1, 2 and 3, taking the first 3 carries for the Butchers. Sirenen rolled over onto his back by 3 of the Canaries players. Johnson continues to go that short side to Jay Gallagher. Jay Gallagher with a very nice carry there over the halfway line. Butchers into Canaries territory. On the 4th tackle, Gallagher gets up, plays the ball. They go left to Morris. Morris, the absolute workhorse, Mick Morris with the 13 on his back. So impressive last year. He'll look to continue that form in 2019. On the last, they'll go to Walsh. Walsh is going to go higher. Look for Simpson out there on that right-hand wing, and it's fielded there perfectly from Todd Morris, and a nice chase there from Tommy Simpson, putting Morris on his back. Good line speed there from the Butchers in this first tackle there, putting Lalia down on his back, only 10 metres out from the try line. They'll continue to go to that right side. McCann. Nice work there from the young fullback, trying to get his team out of their own area, but the line speed from the Butchers has been impressive. Varchez on to Ralphs. Ralphs is brought down. They'll continue to go to the right. Robson. He'll bring his back rower back underneath him. Tips it back on to Robson. Robson goes back infield to, it looked like Varchez, and has been ruled forward there. So the pass back infield to big Joshy Varchez has been ruled to have gone forward there from the touch judge. The touchy giving referee Ryan Jackson that information through the earpiece. So it was well spotted there from the touch judge. And the Canaries, again, another mistake, really costing them a chance of marching their way down the paddock. A little bit of confusion here from the Canaries. It just seems to be if they can just hold this ball and get their way down the other end of the field, there is points on offer. As we see Crosland stepping crossfield, trying to find a gap in that defensive line. He can't. He's brought down 20 metres out. They'll go to the right. Jay Gallagher steps off the right, looking for a hole. He can't find one. 10 metres out. Johnson jumps out. Morris out to Fletcher. Fletcher to Gallagher short. Gallagher looking to crash over. Has he crashed over? No. Great one-on-one tackle there from James Rouse, denying Gallagher a try. So Johnson is short to Walsh. Walsh will go crossfield, bring Morris back underneath him. Morris spins in that tackle, gets the ball out free. Johnson steps off the right. He's going to dive over. Yes, he does. Great try there from Joel Johnson. But what about the effort there from Michael Morris standing in that tackle? The Canaries not wrapping the ball up there, and Morris getting that arm free. And Johnson, what he does best, always sniffing around that ball, comes up with his first pointer for the season, and the Butchers extend their lead 10 points to 0. Kick to come, and there's just been only 3 minutes gone in this second quarter, and the Butchers looking very, very good. The Canaries just can't seem to hold the ball and complete their sets. Just keep handing the ball over to the Butchers, and they're doing it in their own area. It's just allowing the Butchers to get on the front foot and put more and more pressure on this Canaries defensive outfit. And Lukey Gallagher places the ball on the tee right in front of the uprights here, so it should be a gift. 2 points here to Luke Gallagher and the Butchers, and it'll extend their lead as we see Gallagher step in. Looks good. That it is. Straight between the two sticks, and the touchies have got the flags up. Gallagher adds 2 points to the tally. The Butchers 12, the Canaries yet to trouble the scorer. And again, we see McCann bring that ball back to kick off, and something that's been all too familiar at the moment for him. So the Canaries, they'll look for a nice kick here and try and get a mistake, force an error from the Thirroul Butchers. So McCann's kick is deep, straight down the throat of Fletcher. Fletcher on to Noble, a carbon copy of what we've seen to start this second quarter. So let's see, Johnson, he's at acting half again. They'll go to the right. Dodge comes in from his left-hand centre spot, and he'll take a carry on that right-hand fringe. He'll be brought down on just shy of the red line on the 40-metre. Johnson with a nice long ball to Walsh. Walsh dummies to go long. Goes short there to Sirinen. And Sirinen's brought down just shy of the halfway line. They'll continue to pepper that right-hand side through Jay Gallagher. And Gallagher with another strong carry. A 10-metre carry for Jay Gallagher. Just seems to be every time Gallagher puts that ball under his arm, he gains 10 metres for the Butchers. They'll go to the open side. Morris stepping through. Gets past the tackle of Brown, but can't get past the effort. As we see a kick go high, Simpson chasing, putting pressure down on the winger for the Dapto Canaries in Morris. And Morris has been awarded a penalty. Tommy Simpson just too eager there on that kick chase. Tackled young Todd Morris in the air. So referee Ryan Jackson awarding a penalty to the Dapto Canaries. And they'll find touch. Only a little short touch finder there on the 20 metre, but Leah, he'll put it on his foot and go forward. We'll go to the open side. Tamakaha to Varchez. Varchez is brought down just shy of the 40 metre line. They'll go to the left. Robson on to Rouse, and Rouse met strong in defence there from Lukey Dodge with the assistance of Fletcher. Back to the open side, the Canaries go. Areola. He had a bit of a tip-on option there, Areola, but decided to go himself. Wrapped up by the three of the Butchers players. Just shy of the halfway line. Buffalo acting half. Sees one marker in front of him. Darts out. Makes a cheeky 5 metres, so they're over the halfway line into Butchers territory. Last tackle. Robson's to the short side. He'll put it on the boot. And it's hit Tiata on the knee. Tiata gets past the first effort there from Barnes. Brings it back infield. A nice little run there by Tiata. Johnson, a long ball to Walsh. Walsh will get it wide to Crosland. Crosland just steps off the right, looking for a hole in the defence. He can't. He'll be brought down just shy of the halfway line is Crosland. They'll continue to go right. Simpson off his picket swing. Comes in for a carry. Over into the Dapto's Canaries territory. Again, they'll go that right side. Walsh telling Big J Gallagher to come back underneath him. That he does. Then gets on to Higgins. Higgins has rolled over onto his back. 35 metres out the Butchers. They're set to the left. Walsh goes across field. He had an option there to go to Morris, but he gets onto Noble. And Noble with a nice charge. He'll make 10 metres. They're 15 metres out from the try line on the last of Butchers. Noble trying to get to his feet. Johnson dummies, goes to the right. He'll grab her, look for the chase. All on side, but it's been battered over the dead ball line there from the Canaries. So it's a nice little kick there from Joel Johnson. He was chasing, Walsh was chasing, Gallagher was chasing. They had all the players in motion then, the Butchers chasing that kick from their skipper, Joel Johnson. So again, another line drop out here. The Butchers continue to mount pressure on the Dapto Canaries. And their skipper, Jeff Robson, he'll take the drop out. Gone about 40 on the fly. Walsh just stamps on the ball there. Gives it on to Noble. Noble takes the first carry of the set. Noble gets it out the back to Johnson. Johnson dummies. Goes himself. Sees a gap. Goes off the left. Off the right. Johnson just brought down 5 metres out from the try line. What a run there from the skipper. Fletcher at acting half. They'll go on to the right to Walsh. Walsh dummies. Looking to crash over. Can he stretch out? No. Brought down 1 metre out. Jake Walsh just shy of the try line. They're going to go out the back to Fletcher. Fletcher tries to bump off the Canaries player, the back rower in Rouse. He's shot up onto Fletcher. They're 10 metres out the Butchers. They're gone to the right. Johnson, he's gone to throw it out there, and a rare mistake from the skipper. So he's gone to go long there, Johnson. In that effort, it looked like his arms hit his own knee there, trying to get that ball out. He'll be disappointed in that. The Butchers, they were mounting pressure on the Dapto Canaries defensive line. So the Canaries hold out the Butchers there. Wasn't their own doing there, the Canaries. It was a rare error from their skipper, Joel Johnson. The Butchers just handing the ball back over to the Canaries. We see Kamasala take a hit up from the scrum. So Morris in off his wing. Take a scoot out of acting half. So Robson continue to go to this right-hand side through Varchez. Varchez is brought down, and he's just tried to play the ball. It's a little bit too quick there and got caught up in that play the ball. So a mistake there from Varchez, and again the Canaries handing the ball back over to the Butchers, and the Butchers 40 metres out. They'll feed the scrum and continue to mount pressure on this Dapto Canaries defensive line. And it just seems to be the Canaries can't find that last tackle. Very rare they have got to their kick, the Canaries, coming up with very simple errors and turning the ball over. Fletcher feeds the scrum. Johnson at the base to Walsh. Walsh goes across field. Dummies looking for a gap. Can't find that gap as we see. The skipper comes off and young Cooper Purcell comes onto the field. Watch for him. Absolute wealth of talent has young Cooper Purcell. Been in and out of that Dragon system for a long time. 10 metres out the Butchers. Purcell with a long ball to Walsh. Walsh goes crossfield. Brings Sirinen back underneath him. Sirinen looking for the try line. Brought down. Centre of the paddock. 8 metres out is Damien Sirinen. So Sirinen eventually to his feet. Purcell out the back to Fletcher. Fletcher out the back to Higgins, and Higgins is absolutely whacked by Jace Barnes. He's done that on a couple of times there, Jace Barnes. He can read a attacking raid. Gallagher looking for a try, crashes over. Great try there from Luke Gallagher. They all hung off him there on this side of the paddock. They didn't know if Gallagher was going to go himself or give it onto his winger in Tiata. And big Lukey Gallagher, too big, too strong, close to the line, and Gallagher crashes over for his first try of the day. The Butchers extend their lead 16 points to 0, 8.5 minutes remaining in this second quarter. And the Canaries, I'm sure the message from the coaching staff has been sent out there. They just need to complete their sets. They keep handing the ball over way too many times to be able to mount pressure on the Butchers. The Butchers looking good when they've got the ball in hand. Something that Jared Costello and the coaching staff will be very pleased about. This being their first hit out of 2019. Good signs for the Butchers. As we see Lukey Shields running the water for the Butchers today. The big Moose, usually out there in the Thirroul colours. As we all know, it's been in the media this week. Moose will be having his first fight, our amateur fight, in a few weeks. And we've got a bit of a rugby league v rugby union theme going on there. And Gallagher's attempt to add the extras wide of the uprights. We couldn't convert his own try. The Butchers 16. The Canaries yet to score. So McCann, he'll bring the ball back to halfway to get us back underway. So if you haven't got your tickets for the big boxing match, get online, check it out. It should be a great night of boxing in Wollongong, featuring Lukey Shields and also some of the other rugby league players v the rugby union players. So check it out, buy your tickets. As we see Noble with a carry from the kickoff. Sirinen on the right-hand edge there. A nice carry from Sirinen. So in 2 tackles, the Butchers already up to the 40-metre line. That's the third. Morris gets it out the back to Purcell, and Purcell onto Noble. Noble's brought down inside his own territory. Purcell just pleading for a penalty there. Then please not heard from referee Ryan Jackson. They'll continue to go left, the Butchers. Dodge brings it over the halfway line. Purcell at acting half. Back to the open side to Morris. Morris dummies. Goes himself. Had a chance there to tip on to Jack Noble, but he decided to go himself. Morris on the last tackle. 35 metres out. They'll go to the right. Walsh. Walsh goes to the air, looking for Simpson to chase this one down. And McCann feels that inside the field of play. So well taken there from McCann in that fullback position. The chasers from the Butchers were hunting down on that ball, and a good defensive effort here from the Butchers, trying to force the Canaries back over into their in-goal line. Line speed's good here from the Butchers. Lalia brings the ball on the right-hand edge for a carry. Still camped in their own 10 metres are the Dapto Canaries. Kamisala brings it out just shy of the 20-metre line. So a nice 10-metre carry there from Kamisala. They'll continue to go right. Ariola's swamped by 3 of the Butchers players. It looked like a bit of a mistake there on the last. Wasn't seen by referee Ryan Jackson. So Robson, plenty of pressure on him to get the kick away. Flings it back out to Tamakaha, and another error there from the Dapto Canaries on the last tackle. Well, the options just aren't there for the Canaries at the moment. There's a lot of miscommunication between the boys out there in the Dapto jumpers. Another error there. So we'll see the Butchers with 6 tackles up their sleeve, 25 metres out from the try line. 4.5 minutes remaining in this second quarter before we go to the halftime break. Morris. He's brought down 15 metres out centre of the paddock. They're stretched to the right. Purcell jumps out to Walsh. Walsh goes out the back to Crosland. Crosland had Simpson there on his right, but he opted to go himself there. So they're short on that short side. That's the way they're going to go. Walsh with a long ball to Simpson. He's absolutely crunched there by Keith Lalia. So Lalia pushes Simpson over the sideline. So a nice effort there from the number 3, Keith Lalia. They were short defensively there on that side, were the Dapto Canaries. And it was well read there from Cooper Purcell, but the pass just happened to make young Tom Simpson just jump in the air a little bit and allowed a bit of time there for Keith Lalia to rush up on Simpson. It was a nice whack there on Simpson and forced him over the sideline. So the Canaries will feed the scrum 10 metres out from their own try line. They really need to complete this set and get it down the other end. Ralphs. He'll take the first one. Morris. He'll come for a scoot from his left-hand wing. Come and help out some of these tiring forwards as we're on the tail end of this second quarter. Varchez. Pumping those legs. A nice run by Josh Varchez. Over onto the 40-metre line. Young Nolan at acting half. They'll go to the open side. Brown. Brown will put it under his wing and go forward. Right on the halfway line is Brown. Areola on the last 35 metres out. Robson on the short side. They're going to go high. They're going to look for their chasers. They're gone to the air, and it's been knocked forward there from Kamisala. Back onto Higgins, and Higgins has just taken it over the sideline there, but we'll go back to the original knock on here from Kamisala. So it'll be to play the ball from the Butchers. 15 metres out from the try line. 2.5 minutes remaining in this second quarter. As we see, we haven't seen many changes for the Thirroul Butchers. We've only seen Ruskin and Joel Johnson being replaced. So Coach Costello not opting to use much of his bench at the moment. As we see, replacement Purcell's off and Whitty is on for the Butchers with the 15 on his back. So Costello using all 3 of his number 9s. So far, as we see, an error from the Butchers. Just a little bit of miscommunication there around the ruck there from the Butchers, but it gives a chance here for the Canaries to try and post some points with just over a minute and a half remaining in this second quarter. Robson will feed the scrum. Nolan at the base of the scrum. He'll get the ball out to Tamakaha. Tamakaha goes crossfield. Look to go to McCann, but he'll find Lalia back underneath him. So Lalia will play the ball 40 metres out to Varchez. Varchez trying to get that arm free and get the pass out, but he can't. He's brought to the ground. Canary stacked to the right. Brown to Robson. Robson with a wayward pass to McCann. It's come off his knee, so they'll continue to play here, the Canaries. Back to the open side. Brown, super busy Brown. Nolan goes out to that left-hand side, but it looks like it's been knocked back there from the Canaries, so they're not making any metres in this set of 6 are the Canaries. Robson wraps around, goes to the short side to Lalia, and will come up with a forward pass there from Jeff Robson. So the story of the day so far for the Canaries, just can't complete their sets and mount any pressure on this Butchers defensive unit as we're into the last 30 seconds of this second quarter. It's been all the Butchers so far today, 16-0 up on the scoreboard, and the Canaries just can't complete their sets and try and mount some pressure on this Butchers outfit. Walsh to feed the scrum. Tiata He'll get the ball, steps off the left, comes up with the error. So 10 seconds remaining. Can the Canaries find the try line? That is Barnes with the ball. Nolan at acting half. They've gone to the open side to Brown. Brown onto Varchez. Varchez into some space, but he's come up with an error now, Varchez. So with no time left on the clock, both sides will go to the break with a little bit of a mistake-riddled second quarter there between the Canaries and the Butchers. And it was the one try to the Butchers to Lukey Gallagher that took the Butchers to a 16-0 lead at the halftime break. As we see both teams, I'll stay on the field for the halftime break. We'll have a couple of minutes break here. Both coaches will have a word to both sides. And I'm sure the message from Lightville and Murphy will be just to complete their sets and get to their kick and get to the other end of the field. They really need to mount some pressure on the Butchers to be able to post points. They haven't seemed to be able to do that today. They keep coming up with vital errors at the tail end of their sets. The Butchers looking good in patches. We'll be back at Dapto Showground in just a few moments for all the action of this round 3 clash of the VB Challenge Cup between the Dapto Canaries and the Thirroul Butchers. So welcome back to Dapto Showground. The second half about to get underway in the clash between the Dapto Canaries and the Thirroul Butchers. Just in that half-time break, just flicking through the old tab app. Checked out the winner of the Golden Slipper, the Godolphin Roughie, getting up at big odds. I've definitely done my cash again today. As we see, Lukey Gallagher will get us back underway. The Butchers running left to right on your screens. And it looks like a few changes for both sides at this half-time break. Just looking over, we see Jacob Devine coming onto this right-hand wing. So Tommy Simpson looks like he'll be rested in this second half. Looks like big Damien Sirenen has come to the bench, and young Riley Lord on to the field for the Thirroul Butchers. And it looks like the Canaries, they've gone back to their starting 13 on the field. So Joshy Varchez playing big minutes today as the front row partner in Ricky Ariels. We see Gallagher get us underway down to Tamakaha, and Varchez pushes off the dead ball line for the first carry of the set. A good chase there off the kickoff from the Butchers. Brown at acting half to the right to Areola. So the front rowers for the Canaries have gone 1-2 there in their first tackles. They're on the short side. That way they go Brown to Rouse in the back row. Dummies and goes himself. Brought down just shy of the 40-metre line. 10 metres in from the sideline. Varchez, a short ball to Bufflin. So Bufflin playing in looks like a back row role at the moment, with Brown going to acting half. We see Robson's kick hit Dodge, so it's 6 again. Ryan Jackson saying that was played out by Dodge. So the Canaries, 6 tackles up their sleeve. They're 30 metres out from the Butchers' try line. Brown at acting half. He'll go to the open side. He's come up with a mistake there. So again, the Canaries costing themselves the chance to post points. Another error for the Canaries. Well, it's not the start to this third quarter that the Canaries would have wanted there. They had a chance to mount some pressure on the Butchers' line, but they've come up with another error. As we see Jay Gallagher on this right-hand fringe with another carry. So he's been super impressive with the number 12 on his back. Whitty in at acting half. So Whitty will start the second half on that number 9 role. Riley Lord with his first carry. We're going to see another drop ball here. This time Riley Lord with his first carry just comes up with an error there. The ball just popped out. So a nice hit there from Varchez, forcing the error from Riley Lord. So won all the mistakes in this third quarter. 2 minutes gone in this third quarter. We've already had 2 errors. So Tamakaha to feed the scrum 30 metres out from his own try line. They've gone to the short side. Lalia picks that one up off his bootlaces, so it wasn't a good pass there to Lalia, but he's fielded it well. Brown, Tamakaha, brings Thistleweight back underneath him. Brown again to the short side to Varchez. Varchez with a carry, trying to get over into Butcher's territory, just shy of the halfway line. Brown jumps out, gives a short ball there on to, it looked like Areola with a carry. That it was him. They'll continue to go right to Bufflin. Bufflin fumbles it, but he keeps the ball with him on the last tackle. 30 metres out, centre of the paddock. They'll go to the right to Robson. Robson puts it to the sky, and it's no pressure from the kick, and Higgins fields that one with ease, and he'll be brought down 10 metres out from his own try line. So the chase wasn't as good as what it could have been there from the Dapto Canaries. They weren't showing much desperation there to chase that ball and put any pressure on Higgins. Here we see Dodge with a nice carry, a nice 10-metre carry there from the Butchers' centre. Dodge, Whitty acting half to the right to Ruskin. A good carry there from the front rower, big Jolie Ruskin. 15 metres there, he's marched down the field. So just shy of the halfway line, the Butchers. Whitty darts out of acting half. Looked to give the ball to Riley Lord, but he decided to go himself. Still standing in the tackle is young Jared Woody, eventually brought to the ground on the last. They'll go to the right to Butchers to Walsh. Walsh puts it high. It's a wobbly kick, and it's going down to McCann, and McCann's fielded that one just in front of his goalpost there, onto Kamisala, and Kamisala will take that one out from McCann. So the Canaries, with a lot of green grass in front of them to get down the other end of the field and try and post points. This line speed from the Butchers has been super impressive today. They seem to be just up in the face of the Dapto Canaries every time they do get the ball in hand. There's young Morris with a carry. They'll go to the right to Varchez. Geez, he's been impressive today. Josh Varchez led from the front all game so far for the Dapto Canaries. Open side, Brown goes across. Areola, he'll go over the halfway line. Last tackle, Brown at acting half. Robson set to the right. They'll go that way to him. It's going to go to the air. It's gone down to the right-hand side to Jamin Tiara, who fills that one very, very easily there. So the kick, not a good one there from Robson. I thought it could have been a little bit better. As we see, Dodge with another carry. Really coming and helping his forwards out today, Luke Dodge. As we see his centre partner, Hayden Crosland, been brought down just shy of the halfway line. Whitty at acting half. They're cramped behind the ruck, the Butchers. They'll go to the left to Gallagher. Gallagher shapes to pass, but doesn't. He's met in a strong tackle there from Tom Ralphs and also Keith Lalia. Back to the open side. Ruskin, dummies, goes himself. He was never passing that one, Jolie Ruskin. Always puts that ball under his wing and goes forward. They'll go to the short side. Fletcher, they've got numbers, the Butchers. Great pass there from Fletcher onto Gallagher, but the pass from Gallagher to Tiara has just gone wayward there, and it's gone over the sideline. So the Butchers there coming up with a mistake. Looked good going that short side through the hands. The Canaries' defence came up and shut that play down onto Gallagher. That pass forcing Gallagher over the sideline. So the Canaries will play the ball 25 metres out from their own try line. There's Varchez again. Seems to be, I'm calling his name 2 or 3 times a set. He just seems to be there every time for a hit up, Josh Varchez. Areola. Brought down. Still inside their own territory are the Canaries. They need to get down the other end of the field and start posting points. Good line speed there from Walsh, shutting down anything that Tamakaha was going to put on offer there. He looked to shape to pass Tamakaha, but Walsh darted out of that defensive line and shut down any chance of that happening. Bufflin with a strong carry on the right. So it looks like they've changed roles, Brown and Bufflin. Bufflin looks like he's gone to 13 and Brown to 9. As we see Robson crab crossfield, bring his back rower underneath him. On the last tackle, they'll go to the right to Robson. Robson goes the other side of the field with a cross kick. Devine's there. Reads it very well, does Jacob Devine. Nice take there from Jacob Devine on the fly. He had plenty of pressure there from the Canaries chasing that kick, but Devine up to the task. Well done, Jacob Devine. Great first effort here from him in this second half, the third quarter of this game. Still 12 minutes remaining. The score 16-0 to the Butchers. No points posted yet in this third quarter. Gallagher, strong carry over the halfway line. Whitty at acting half. They'll go to the short side. Fletcher goes to the line. Dummies looking for a gap. Can't get past Robson. Geez, he looks good, Fletcher, when he goes to the line. Last tackle. Walsh kick crossfield looking for Devine. And it's just gone too deep for Jacob Devine. So he's a little bit too infield there, Jacob Devine. If he held his line out here on this touch line, he might have had a very good chance of gathering that kick from Walsh. So the Canaries, they'll feed the scrum 10 metres out from their own try line. Tamakaha with the ball to feed the scrum. You see a bit of a change here for the Dapto Canaries. Lalia trying to get to his feet, play the ball, laying all over the ruck there were the Butchers. No penalty awarded. Nice carry there from Barnes. Over his 20-metre line again, they'll go the short side. Kamisala coming in to give his forwards a bit of a hand. A nice carry there from Kamisala. Brought down just shy of the 40-metre line. Brown to the open. brought down. Still in their own territory are the Canaries. Robson opting to kick early in that set of 6. It's a nice kick from Robson. It's bamboozled Higgins there at the back. He's had to go back and field the ball, and a nice chase there from the Canaries, led by that man that kicked it in, Jeff Robson, with the assistance of Jace Barnes. Good line speed there from the Canaries. That's what they need to do now to try and force an error from the Butchers and really start mounting some pressure. They haven't been able to do that today at any stage of the game so far. Whitty at acting half to the open side. Lord. A nice carry there from Lord. Trying to get to his feet and get a quick play the ball. That he does. So Johnson onto the field for the Butchers. So the skipper back onto the field. Walsh looking for a 40-20. He's not going to get it because it's fielded on the 10-metre line from Morris. And Morris is met front on there from Jay Gallagher, Joel Johnson, and also Hayden Crosland. They're still trying to get back on side of the Canaries. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the Canaries boys still in front of the play the ball. So they're trying to get back on side. They'll pepper the short side to Lalia. Lalia brings it back infield. Tries to palm off Walsh with that big left mitt of his. Stojanovski on the field for the Canaries. He's swamped by the Butchers players. Stojanovski. Brown at acting half. They're gone to the open side. Tamakaha. Tamakaha lays it on to his front rower, who's brought down just shy of the halfway line. Brown to Robson. Robson puts it low in between the winger and the fullback. Higgins goes crossfield and eventually fields that ball. So Higgins looking for a gap, but he can't find one. Another good chase there, led by Jeff Robson. So the Canaries, line speed here must be at a premium to try and keep the Butchers in their own area and try and force an error also. Crosland with a good carry, nearly punching through the Canaries' defensive line to the open side. Johnson to Ruskin, the evergreen Joel Ruskin, just pumping those big legs over into Dapto's territory. He'll be brought down over the halfway line. So set both sides, the Butchers. Johnson jumps out to Fletcher. Fletcher goes out to Dodge. Dodges into some space, and it's been knocked down there from Kamisala. So Dodge had Tiara on his left, but Kamisala read it very, very well, and he's knocked down the pass from Dodge to Tiara, and that ball's gone over the sideline there. So the Butchers, they'll feed the scrum 35 metres out from the Canaries' try line. So a chance for the Butchers to post points. 8.5 minutes remaining in this third quarter at Dapto Showground. At times been a very stop-start game due to the amount of errors that we have seen throughout the day. We've seen glimpses of some entertaining football. Crosland goes to the line, carrying the ball in two hands there, eventually puts it in under his wing and goes forward, brought down 20 metres out. Johnson, he'll go to the right to Ruskin. Ruskin just pumping those legs. Good carry there from Ruskin. 8 metres out the Butchers. They're set left to right. Johnson darts out. Goes crossfield. Goes out the back to Fletcher. Fletcher hits Gallagher short, and Gallagher just comes up with the error and hands the ball back over. So Lukey Gallagher coming up with an error there, and a penalty awarded to the Canaries. So Gallagher probably filthy on his effort there for dropping that ball. Took a little bit of frustration out there when the Canaries player was trying to get to his feet to play the ball, and just had a bit of a yank at the boot there of the Canaries player. And referee Ryan Jackson not having a bar of that one, and quite happily awarding a penalty to the Canaries for Gallagher's infringement there. And it was a nice touch finder there from the Canaries. He's put it out the touch, so it's just shy of the 40-metre line. I think the ball boys must have gone missing because Kamisala's had to go out and field that ball over on the dog track. So he's eventually going to get that ball and give it on to Barnes. Barnes will tap it on his foot to Robson. Robson will then give it on to Brown, and Brown flicks it out the back there, but it's been picked up by Gallagher, who Gallagher has knocked it on. So we'll see what the call is here from referee Ryan Jackson. I'd say it'd be a knock on first to the Butchers and a second knock on there to the Canaries. So I think we'll see the Canaries feed the scrum, and yes, Ryan Jackson's got that left arm pointing to the Canaries. So Robson will feed this scrum nearly in the same spot as where their set of 6 started from only moments ago. Robson's feeds the scrum. Bufflin, Tamakaha. Tamakaha there feeds it onto the back rower in Bonnie. They'll continue to go to this short side through Lalia. Lalia's brought down just shy of the halfway line. Keith Lalia, Bufflin at acting half. He'll give it onto the back rower in Thistlethwaite. And Thistlethwaite with that 1970s mustache takes it over into Butcher's territory. Out the back there to Robson. And Robson onto Ralphs, who's been impressive today with his carries, has James Ralph. Probably one of the standouts there for the Canaries today. Really taking that ball to the line strongly. Brown tips it on there. It's eventually come up with McCann, but referee Ryan Jackson's going to come up with a knock on there. So I'm not sure if that was the right call. I thought it went backwards, and all the Dapto Canary supporters thought it went backwards, and I'm sure the Butchers supporters, they thought it went forward. But we go with the man in the middle, the man with the whistle. And he said it's knocked on, so that's what it will be. And Walsh will feed the scrum for the Butchers. Just under 5 minutes remaining in this third quarter. Scoreless so far in this third quarter. And Crosland will take the first one from the scrum. Brought to the ground by 3 of the Canaries players. Crosland, Johnson, shapes to go right. He'll go to the left. He'll find Dodge. So Dodge is over the halfway line into Dapto Canaries territory. Johnson darts out of dummy half, sees one marker, does what he does best there, flicks it out to Ruskin. Ruskin puts it on the inside to Whitty, and Whitty is away. Jared Whitty, great work there from the Thirroul Butchers, and it all started by that man, the skipper, Joel Johnson. If there's one marker in front of him, he is off and gone. Reads it so well, Joel Johnson, but it was great backing up their work from the big front rower in Joel Ruskin, and Ruskin just drew and passed, found the faster man in Whitty inside of him, and Whitty crashes over underneath the crossbar here at Dapto Showground. The Butchers extend their lead 20 points to 0, under 4 minutes remaining in this third quarter, and it's all the Butchers here today at Dapto Showground. And Lukey Gallagher with a kick to add another 2 points right smack in front of the goalposts here at Dapto Showground. So Gallagher steps in, flags are up. Another 2 points to the Butchers. They'll extend their lead 22 points to 0. 3 minutes remaining in this clash between the Dapto Canaries and the Thirroul Butchers. About to finish the third quarter of this game. So the Butchers looking like they will notch their first victory for 2019. As we've said, this is their first taste of rugby league so far this season. The Canaries have only had the one hit out, and that was a loss to Berkeley in round 1. So McCann placing the ball on tee, about to get us back underway. So it's a nice kick-off from McCann. It's very, very deep, and it's just fielded inside the dead ball line by Walsh, and Walsh gives it on to Noble, and Noble takes the first carry 10 metres out from his try line. Noble plays the ball on to Dodge, and Dodge with a great carry there. Good carry there from Luke Dodge. Brought down. They'll continue to go this right-hand side through Ruskin, and Ruskin just puts the big mid out and tries to palm off the Canaries defence. Brought down on the 40-metre line. So in 3 tackles, they're already up to the halfway line. Good carry from Gallagher. And a great carry by Gallagher, a 15-metre carry there from the Butchers back rower. He'll be brought down 30 metres out from the Canaries try line. A minute and a half remaining in this third quarter. Johnson sees one marker in front of him, darts out, but the pass, it's an ordinary one from Joel Johnson there. He was looking to get it on to the chest of one of the Butchers players, but it didn't go that way. It was a wayward pass, and we've got a little bit of a push and shove going on at the moment, but the referee's just come in and said, listen, boys, go your separate ways, as we'll see that Butchers go back their spot. The Canaries go back over with the rest of their teammates. Looked like young Jared Whitty in the thick of things. Not a shock to see young Whitty in the thick of things. A very aggressive player, young Jared Whitty, a very talented player. And wears his heart on his sleeve week in, week out for this Butchers outfit. Tamakar feed the scrum. Kamisala. So we're into the last minute of the third quarter. Bufflin at acting half. On to Barnes. Jace Barnes on that right-hand fringe. Take a carry as we'll see. Time called here. It looks like Jay Gallagher down in back play. It looks like Jack Noble as well. So it might have been a bit of a head clash there between the two Butchers players. Gallagher's back up on his feet. He's got a rock-hard melon, so let's just check out Jack Noble as we see the Butchers trainer, Pete McIntyre, out there just having an assessment on Jack Noble. So Noble, tough as nails, back on his feet. Might be a little bit shaken up with that one. Yeah, so Noble's all good. But during all that, the clock has winded down and referee Ryan Jackson has blown the whistle to call time on this third quarter here at Dapto Showground. We'll go to the third quarter break with the Thirroul Butchers leading 22 points to nil against the Dapto Canaries. We'll be back shortly after this break. So welcome back to Dapto Showground. The fourth quarter about to get underway here. The Butchers 22 points to nil. The Canaries haven't troubled the scorer yet today. Lukey Gallagher placing the tee in the centre of the paddock here at Dapto Showground to get us back underway. It'll be all smiles down in the Butchers camp. A nice first up effort here from the Butchers. We see Gallagher's kick go wayward. Over into touch, flicked back infield. Simpson's chased the kick. Tamakaha's got the ball, and a nice tackle there from Higgins there, forcing Tamakaha close to his try line. Good line speed here from the Butchers in this first effort defensively there, led by Riley Lord. So we see the Canaries trying to get their way out of their own 10-metre line. They will now through Varchez, and Varchez with a good 10-metre carry puts the Canaries back on the front foot here over the 20-metre line. Josh Varchez takes his team. They'll come back to the open side there through Bonnie. Robson, you'll need a big kick on this one, and Robson puts it deep, and it's fielded there from Crosland. So Crosland down playing fullback, it looks like, in this last quarter. So a couple of positional changes here we'll see from probably both sides, and we'll also see young Braden Morris for the Canaries onto the field, and he'll play on this left-hand wing. The Butchers over halfway. Johnson, he'll go to the right. Lord with a strong carry there. A nice 10-metre carry there from Riley Lord. Over the 40-metre line. He'll be told to play the ball 35 metres out from the try line. Johnson sees no one in front of him. Jumps out and brings Whitty back underneath him. A nice strong run there from Jared Whitty. Gets a quick play the ball. Johnson to the short to Higgins. Higgins shapes to pass. He doesn't. Goes himself. But he's brought down on the last metre out from the try line. Johnson. Long ball there to Fletcher. Fletcher will put a kick over into the in-goal, looking for a good bounce, but it's well read there from the fullback, Adam McCann. He'll bring it out to the 20-metre line, tap it on his foot, and off they go. The Canaries, they really needed to complete this set and get down the other end of the paddock and try and post points, put a little bit of respect into this scoreboard here. It'll give them a good confidence boost if they can lay on a couple of late tries in this game. As we see Brown dumping out of acting half there, but we'll see a penalty awarded to the Canaries. The Butchers boys just laying all over the play the ball there, not allowing the Canaries front row in Areola to get up to his feet and play the ball properly. As we see Robson will find touch. A nice touch finder there from Jeff Robson over the halfway line. So Laluya, he'll tap it. He'll put it on to Thistlethwaite. Thistlethwaite will take a carry. He'll be brought down 35 metres out from the Butchers try line. A chance for the Canaries to post points. Varchez goes to the right, steps off that right-hand foot, looking for a gap. He can't find one. 20 metres out are the Canaries. Robson, nice shift play for the Canaries. McCann dubbies, goes himself, but he's brought down 12 metres out from the Butchers try line. They're set to the left of the Canaries. Robson to Areola. Areola onto his front row partner Varchez, but they've come up with the error. Crosland's got the ball in hand, but we'll come back and we'll see a double knock on here. The first one from the Canaries, the second one from the Butchers. So the Butchers will feed the scrum 10 metres out from their own try line. And it was good signs there from the Canaries. They had players in motion. They spread the ball well there. And it was nice work really between the two front rowers in Areola and Varchez. It was just the pass from Areola not hitting Varchez right in the stomach there where he could have full control of that ball and just come up with an error. But looked good there in that set of six and that passage of play, the Canaries. Simpson will take the first carry after the scrum. Johnson to Sirenen, and Sirenen just bumps off Robson. And a penalty given to the Butchers. It was a high shot there from the Canaries on Sirenen. So Sirenen get up to his feet there. And Fletcher will kick for touch. A nice touch finder there from Ryan Fletcher. Been impressive with that number 6 on his back here today for the Thirroul Butchers. Tiata, he'll tap it on his foot and give it to Gallagher. And Gallagher, nice carry there. They're 30 metres out from the try line, the Butchers. They're shifted to the right here. Fletcher, crossfield, picks up Higgins. Higgins out the back to Crosland. Crosland's on the Dodge, and Dodge brings it back infield, trying to bump past Tamakar. He can't. 20 metres out. Johnson at acting half to Higgins. Higgins on to Noble, and Noble charges forward, trying to get that arm free, but he can't. 10 metres out. Noble to play the ball. Johnson to the left. Whitty to Fletcher. Fletcher brings Gallagher underneath. Gal's looking for two. He does, but he's come up with a mistake. So another Shepherd. This is the second one today that Ryan Jackson has found with the Butchers. So Lukey Gallagher denied his second try for the day due to a Shepherd there. And the Canaries let off the hook there. Awarded the penalty. They've found touch. So Nolan on to Robson. Robson to Brown. So Brown's playing the ball 30 metres out from his own try line. It's a wayward pass there. Eventually picked up off the ground there from the Canaries' back rower. So a little bit of miscommunication there. Thistlethwaite finally found the ball. But again, these passes at times going wayward for the Canaries. We'll see a replacement shortly for the Canaries. They just can't get out of their own area at the moment, the Dapto Canaries. The Butchers' defence, rock solid, and their line speed has been outstanding today. They just haven't allowed the Canaries that chance to go down the field. And Sirenen has absolutely whacked Josh Brown there. Last tackle, Robson's just put it onto the boot, and it's hit Gallagher, and it's gone over the sideline. So we'll see that more than likely Gallagher's played at this ball. It's been touched, and it will be. So the Canaries will get to feed the scrum 40 metres out from the Butchers' try line. A chance on offer here for the Canaries to try and hold this ball and post some points. So a couple of changes take place here for the Canaries. It looks like Thistlethwaite coming to the sideline. We'll see a change for the Butchers. It looks like Jake Walker getting a start. So we see the Canaries spread to the left. Laloya looking to pass. He'll dummy, go himself. Brought down by Dodge. Gets to quick play the ball. Thistlethwaite at acting half. He'll take a nice run there. So picked up 15 metres there, Thistlethwaite. Eventually brought down 10 metres shy of the Butchers' try line. Laloya at acting half. They're going to the open side to Brown. Brown out to Robson. Robson with a short ball onto the chest of Ralphs. And Ralph's brought down a millimetre from the try line. Nolan at acting half to Robson. Robson puts it on the boot, but it can't go through that defensive line there. It's come up with Tiara in the hand. So well done there by the Butchers winger. Read the kick there from the veteran Jeff Robson, denying a chance there for the Canaries to post points. Tom Simpson coming off his right-hand wing for a carry. So the 19 onto the field for the Butchers, Jake Walker. We'll see Noble. Oh, good contact there from Lalia and Noble, but Lalia is absolutely flattened there, laying on the ground. He has not moved. Jack Noble, he had an earlier head knock before between Lukey Gallagher and Noble. Even Noble looks like he's got a little bit of blood coming out of his head after that head clash there, and not a good look. And let's hope that all is well for Keith Lalia there. It was a strong bit of contact there between the Butchers and the Canaries player. Jack Noble just limping off the field now. He's smiling, got a big smile on his face. That's a good sign for Jack Noble. Let's hope we see some good signs here for Keith Lalia. As we've seen Lalia over the years play a lot of rugby league in the NRL, over in the English Super League. He's been back with the Dapto Canaries for a few seasons here, so let's hope all is well for the Canaries centre. As we see, he's just sitting up, which is a good sign here. The Canaries trainers just looking over Keith Lalia. I dare say that Lalia will be brought to the sideline, and that will be the end of his day. Tell you what, Jack Noble must have a tough melon. as he looks like he's okay. Just looking over there to the Butchers bench. Just looking over the Canaries bench here. It looks like Kamisala will come onto the field for Lalia if Lalia's brought off. So we've still got 10 minutes remaining in this clash between the Canaries and the Butchers. And rightly slow, Keith Lalia getting clapped off the field. He'll come to the sideline, and that will be his day. He looks very, very groggy, does Keith Lalia. Such a strong player, Keith Lalia, so that must have really rung his bell. So we'll get back underway very shortly, as I don't think time was called off during that. So we see the clock still ticking away over across from us. So 9.5 minutes remaining. The Butchers with the ball in hand. Looks like young Riley Graham onto the field for the Butchers with that headgear on. Johnson kicks out of dummy half. And it's a nice kick there from Johnson, but it's gone down the throat of McCann there at fullback, whose positional play been sensational today for the Canaries. McCann's brought down on the 30-metre line. Kamisala comes in for a scoot. Dodge read that one like a book and didn't allow Kamisala to get a head of steam up and make metres. Brought down Kamisala. Nolan at acting half to Brown, and Brown's popped that one out the back there, so it's come out. And the young fella for the Butchers, Graham's come up with the ball, so a chance here for the Butchers. 25 metres out from the Canaries line. Another mistake there from the Canaries. Johnson to Whitty. Whitty dummies. Straightens his run. Goes himself. Brought down centre of the paddock. 10 metres out. They're set left to right here, the Butchers. Which way will they go? They've gone to the left to Walker. Walker, big, strong, close to the line. Can he crash over? He's over the try line, but it looks like he has been held up. So he'll bring the ball back into the field of play there. So a nice strong carry there from the 19, Jake Walker, a big unit. He'll be very hard to stop that close to the line. So he'll bring the ball back out to the 10-metre line. He'll be told to play the ball. They'll go to the left. Fletcher dummies, goes himself. Good line speed there from Tom Rouse there to shut down that play. Fletcher had nothing he could do there except put the ball under his wing and go forward. Johnson darts out of acting half. And the pass has gone wayward eventually into the arms of Crosland. And Crosland will bring it back to where the play the ball happened only moments ago. Crosland dummies, goes himself, and he's in. Oh, they all hung off him then. Hayden Crosland, he must have had spiders on him because no one wanted to touch him then. They all stood back and just watched him. From out of nothing, a wayward pass there from Joel Johnson finding Crosland. And Crosland just shimmied his way through and found a gap untouched and puts the ball down for his first try of the day. The Butchers extend their lead 26 points to 0 with under 7 minutes remaining in this game. We'll see a changing kicker here, Lukey Gallagher, who's come to the sidelines here, and young Blake Higgins has been given the kicking duties while Gallagher has this quarter off. So let's see how the left boot of Higgins strikes them. He steps in, looks good off the tee, looks very good, and it's over the crossbar, in between the uprights, and the touch judges have put the flags up. So Blakey Higgins adds 2 more points to the Butchers tally. The score 28 points to 0, 6 minutes remaining in this game. And the Canaries just walking back to the halfway line to get us back underway. So McCann, as we've seen him do numerous occasions throughout the day, place this ball on the tee at the halfway line and get us back underway. It's a nice deep kick here from McCann, straight down the throat of Fletcher, and Fletcher will pass it on to the big front rower in Walker, and Walker will pump those legs, attracting 3 of the Canaries players. Eventually brought down on the 20-metre line is big Jake Walker. They'll continue to go that short side. Sirinen just bumps off Kamisala. So, what a good run there from Sirinen. Higgins goes crossfield. And a long ball there from Fletcher, finding Tiara. Tiara into open space. He had Devine on his outside. He opted to go himself. He's still going Tiara. Tiara eventually brought down 30 metres out from the Canaries try line. Have they got more points in them, the Butchers? Higgins to Ruskin. Ruskin dummies to Lord and goes himself. So Ruskin eventually brought down 20 metres out centre of the paddock. Johnson's acting half. He's got his big front rower to his right and Walker goes out the back to Higgins. Higgins steps, dances, can't get past Kamisala. Last tackle. What will they do, the Butchers? They'll go the short side to Sirinen. Sirinen's going to dummy and go himself. He's going to crash over. Yes, he does. Stretches out. Big Damien Sirinen gets his second try for today. He's going to be hard to stop from anywhere on the paddock, but from 5 metres out, it'll take an army of men to stop big Damien Sirinen. The Butchers extend their lead with under 4 minutes remaining in this game, and a good play there from the Butchers. So big Damien Sirinen there getting 2. Not often you see a front rower bag 2 tries in a game. So a big effort there from Sirinen. And also give a rap to Blakey Higgins in this last quarter. Since Blake's moved into more of a 5'8" half role, with Jake Walsh having this last quarter off, he's really sparked a little bit around the ruck. He looks very flashy with the ball in hand, and we've seen it a few times last year when he had the Cougars jumper on, Blake Higgins. So this kick a little bit harder for Higgins, about 4 metres in from the sideline, 22 metres out. Higgins shaping, kicks one, strikes it, can't get the swing back on that one, so it's been waved away. The score will remain the Butchers 32, the Dapto Canaries 0. So they're walking back to get us back underway. Here are the Canaries, the Butchers. They're set, ready to pounce again. The McCann putting the ball on the tee. So 2.5 minutes remaining in this clash as we see the whistle blown. McCann with a nice deep kick again. Carbon copy of the last one down the throat of Fletcher, and Fletcher on to Walker. And a nice carry from Walker. He's a big unit, this Jake Walker. Here's Riley Graham for the Butchers. Over his 30-metre line, looking for a quick play the ball. Johnson jumps out of acting half, trying to palm off the Canaries players. Gets the ball free to Lord, and Lord pumping those legs over the halfway line. So a good couple of tackles here for the Butchers, making great ground. No markers in front of him. Johnson sees that, goes himself, and gets the penalty. So well done, Joel Johnson. So good at what he does. It's great to watch Joel Johnson week in, week out. He just knows when to go each and every time. 9 times out of 10 he gets it right, Joel Johnson. As we see Higgins kick for touch. Fine touch, 20 metres out from the Canaries try line. Simpson will throw it infield to Dodge. Dodge will tap it on to Johnson, and Johnson on to Riley Lord. And Lord 12 metres out from the Canaries try line. They're set to the short, the Butchers, but they're going to go the open side. Johnson darts out, hits Walker. Walker trying to muscle his way over the try line. He can't. He's brought down a metre away. Johnson sees no one in front of him. Dives over, scores. Joel Johnson gets try number 2. The skipper leading from the front as always. Jolie Johnson, 2 tries for the day. The Butchers go out to another try and extend their lead. 40 points to 0. So we're into the last minute here of this game, and we'll see Blake Higgins just take his time with this kick. And I'm sure he'll Put this one between the sticks. So Higgins just taking his time summing this one up. So a big effort here from the Butchers today to keep the Dapto Canaries scoreless. As we see Higgins step in, kick this one. Whistle's blown. Full-time siren is sounded here at Dapto Showground in this round 3 clash of the VB Challenge Cup. The Butchers victorious, 42 points to 0. In a game that was all one-way traffic, with the Butchers just too classy for this Dapto Canaries outfit. Tries today, 1 to Hayden Crosland, 2 to Damien Sirenen, 2 to Joel Johnson, 1 to Luke Gallagher and 1 to Jared Whitty. 4 goals for Luke Gallagher, 2 goals to Blake Higgins. And Jared Costello's men will leave Dapto Showground 1 from 1 this season. A good first hit out for the Butchers. The Canaries still winless in 2019 in this VB Challenge Cup. And it's full time here at Dapto Showground and full time for myself. Thanks for tuning in throughout the live stream action of this round 3 game. We will see you next week at Gibson Park for the Thirroul Butchers v Berkeley game. This is Johnny Pett signing out for Bar TV Sports. We'll see you next week somewhere in the Illawarra League.